What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I appreciate you all taking the time here. This is not a live video. Most have been lately, trying to do my best to interact with all of you, get all of this information, but we've got a bunch of news to go over here. So, going to put this out, try to make it as quick as I can with the updated cap space for the Eagles. Then I'll give you some coordinators. Those videos will be dropping throughout the next couple of days. There will be a live one talking about all of those coordinators. So I hope to see you for those. But let's talk about Show Me the Money. You know it, baby. I already got a playlist started for 2024. Go check it out. We are going to keep you up to date with every single move that is made, all of the cap space, everything you need to know, and especially through this offseason. Things get pretty hairy with the media, misunderstanding how a lot of this stuff works. So let's jump right into it, baby. Appreciate you all hitting that like button, subscribing. Love to hear your thoughts down below, but let's get into it. So a couple things happened. Jason Kelce, he was restructured, and we had talked about this, some of these moves with people that are free agents, they have those dummy years. Things like this are always possible. So $2.4 million in cap space. That put us around $31 million. And, Kelce is a free agent. So a lot of people, what the hell? How is he restructuring his contract? And you can see the full list of free agents here. We've got 22 of them. And, Kelce is one of them. The thing is with that deal, if he were to come back, we talked about this with Fletcher Cox, releasing him and then signing him right back. That's a move that is going to allow him to get a new contract. And, right now with those dummy years, he's got, a bunch of, cap space that's taking things up. So we're just opening up 2.4 million there. So that is something that, you're going to see. And I made a show the other day talking about things that can happen with the Eagles for the guys that are on the roster. But Kelce is the one move that we talked about. Someone had asked, Fletcher Cox doing that last year. And that is what would happen if you were to come back. You would just give him a new contract. So he'd essentially, be let go of that contract. But he has until June to retire with that contract the way it's set up. So we'll see. But that was something that, obviously added some cap space. So fantastic. You knew how he was going to do stuff like that. I'm always going to keep you up to date with that. But we also have reserve future signings. And we talked about all of those guys. But when you're looking at this full list, there's 20 guys that were brought in. I got the cap hits for all of them. So you can see each of the cap hits for all 20 of the reserve future signings. And all that means a reserve future signing, it's just a signing, which means they'll be here for the offseason. So this happens when we're in that limbo part where the offseason hasn't started, but our season's over. So reserve future signings, that means they will be here this summer. A lot of practice squad guys, a few new guys. So go check those breakdowns. I have a breakdown of all the reserve future signings, but here is their cap hits. Now, it's important to remember that during the offseason, we talk about it, the top 51 cap hits are what count against. That's what the salary cap is. So that's all the money you need to keep in mind. So you don't have to count all of them, but, looking at all 20 of these players, 17.7 million cap hits. Now, most of them not going to make the team or will be on the practice squad. So these small cap hits, they'll stay on the practice squad. But for this offseason, these numbers probably aren't going to matter too much because you're going to sign some free agents, sign your own free agents. You're going to draft players. So you're going to have things that are going to, once you have 51 players, which we do right now, you can see that salary cap. But once you add someone, you're just replacing them if their number is higher with that bottom number. So that if none of that's making sense, please feel free to ask. But now that we know those numbers, what you have to do is, I believe it's Shaq Davis is the cutoff there. Lestidus Smith being the final person that's cap hit actually matters. So we're only taking the numbers that are affecting the cap, and that is a little over 10.5 million. We already know the Kelce restructure added 2.4 million. So we need to take both of these numbers. We'll just subtract that 2.4 from the 10.5, and you can see that you've got $8,147,500. So that's the money you need to take off of the cap. And we talked about almost $31 million is what it was once you added Kelce. But now when you're taking off those reserve future contracts, looking at around 22.8 million. And there's the future cap space, and that will alter once, all these different numbers come in. I'll keep you up to date with all of this stuff. But sitting at $23 million, that's great. And, you're going to hear some fan that doesn't know how the cap works or a media person tell you that's not Eddie Space. Well, wait till Hurts contract. Hurts contract, all of those restructures things are built in. None of that stuff matters. I'm literally telling you we have 23 million. And I told you the other day how you could add 37 million more. So the Eagles could have up to $60 million in cap space. So anyone telling you that we don't have any or trying to confuse you, tell them they're a moron and send them my way. I'll happily try to get people on the track. And you've seen it. Eagles media, Eagles content creators, they're all finally learning how the cap works. Finally giving you correct numbers, not lying to you about how we can't sign anyone. Everyone's got to be cut. No, numbers matter. Their contracts are so important. That's why I always stay on top of it. And it's beautiful to see the media and other content creators finally taking this information from me because, my God, have I been trying for years to get people on board. But here you go. This is the 10 moves you're going to hear the media and a lot of people talking about. They're going to follow my footsteps, and they should, because these are the moves Howie is going to make. And he doesn't have to make all of them to create 37 mil, but I would expect to see a good portion of these. You're going to see money opened up. We're going to have money to spend. Going to be an exciting offseason. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. And I understand there's a lot of whining. Fans are always going to do that. Fire everyone during the season. Then when they get fired, then they're offended. Look, these people weren't built for the Eagles fan base like us sickos. So just pretend they're not real like I do and just enjoy this all season because our birds are coming back. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. But I hope you're having yourselves a great day. Appreciate you taking the time, hitting that like button, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough, but have a great rest of your day. I'll be dropping those coordinator searches. All those videos are coming your way, so hope you check those out. Love to hear your thoughts on all this stuff, but have yourselves a great day. Until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me at home now. Go Birds!